Throughout 2020, Red Bull to me seemed like they were the most under the microscope and had the most amount of criticism thrown their way over yet another season of not challenging Mercedes, but more so having another drama-filled year with their driver lineup. Now, this got me thinking, are we being fair to the team behind the drivers, and are Red Bull over-criticized? Well, this is something that I asked my followers over on Twitter for their opinion, and although unsurprisingly most voted that Red Bull are not over-criticized, it was actually a lot closer than I thought it was going to be, with close to 40% of people saying that they are over-criticized. So in this video, I wanted to take a deeper look into why Red Bull tend to rub people off the wrong way, and also look into the question, are they actually over-criticized, and is that criticism actually fair and deserved? Now actually guys, really quickly before we do get into the video, I have some unbelievably amazing and exciting news that I really want to share with you, which is that, as some of you may know, I recently partnered with Veloce as a content creator, and I am very excited and happy to announce that me and Tomo, who I'm sure many of you guys know, have our very own podcast on the Veloce channel. Now in this podcast, we are going to be talking about everything Formula 1, and of course we're going to have some great conversations, a few little debates there and there. Things might get a little bit heated, you guys know me, but yeah, I am just so thankful and so happy. And our inaugural episode came out just a few days ago, and it was on the subject of Aston Martin and Sebastian Vettel in 2021. So guys, once you finish watching this video, definitely go and check it out. Again, it will be right at the top of the description, and also don't forget to support the Veloce family and subscribe to the Veloce channel for so much amazing content and so many amazing future videos that we have planned in 2021. But anyway guys, enough of all of that promo. Let's get into this video and talk about Red Bull. Now, when talking about this question, there are so many different angles that we can approach it with, but in this video, I'm going to be focusing on three main areas, and that is the car performance, their young drivers, and also the way the team manage their young drivers. So, the first thing let's get into is the car performance. Now, I'll be honest with you guys, on this subject, I've never known whether Red Bull should be praised for how consistent they've been over the past 10, 11 years, or if they should be criticized for the fact that they are always a step behind the competition, and more annoyingly, on the pace of the Mercedes and Ferrari once the championship is already wrapped up. Now again, Red Bull have been arguably the most consistent team over the last decade, and really quickly I'm just going to throw you a few stats your way by looking at the average in terms of where the big three teams have finished in the constructors over the last few years. Now for these quick averages, I've actually done it for the previous decade, and I actually included the 2020 season as well. So these will be the average constructors positions over the last 11 seasons. Now although Mercedes started the decade as a midfield team, the fact that they then went on to win 7 consecutive constructors titles in a row, it obviously comes as no surprise to see them have the highest average constructors position over the last 11 seasons of exactly 2.00. After Mercedes, it's the ever consistent Red Bull, who have the next highest average of 2.10 over the last 11 seasons, with Ferrari in third place with an average constructors position of 2.91. Now, the thing is, even if we remove the 2020 season in which Ferrari fell off the face of the planet by finishing in 6th place, they still don't overtake Red Bull, even if you compare just the last decade in isolation. So, on one side, I've always felt that Red Bull do not get enough credit for being arguably the most consistent team over the last 10-11 years, if not the most successful. But at the same time, whilst I do commend them for always being a front-running team, their inability, especially for the last 7 years, to make a championship-capable car is just not good enough. And this is where my frustration really comes in, because although Ferrari have been inconsistent, at least they managed to produce cars that actually challenged both Red Bull during their dominance in 2010 and 2012, and then also produced 2 cars which were capable of challenging Mercedes during their current run of dominance in 2017 and 2018. Something else that has frustrated me and many others is the fact that over the past 4 years since the new regulations came in 2017, Red Bull every single season have turned up with a car that, yes, is capable of podiums and the odd win there and there, but then by the time we get into the second half of the season, they seem to be right there with the front runners and challenging for race wins on a much more regular basis. The problem is that by then, Hamilton and Mercedes have already wrapped up the title with 3 or 4 races to go. So it's frustrating frustrating that they always seem to be playing the catch-up game and seem to just about be there with Mercedes by the end of the season, instead of coming out with a great package from the moment the car is revealed in testing. So yes, on the car performance side, sure, Red Bull deserve the credit for statistically being the second most consistent team on the grid, but to me, if anything, I think the criticism is more than fair for the fact that every season we get our hopes up of a title challenge for Red Bull, only to see them yet again underdeliver from the very beginning of the season and catch up when it's already too late. However, next we move on to the big one, their drivers and the management of their drivers. Now, I think it's more than fair to say that whenever people have been talking about Red Bull as of late, it's always been something to do with their drivers. Red Bull have had a revolving door of drivers to the point where it's become almost like a bit of a running joke, and when you compare it to a team like Mercedes, who have had only 3 different driver lineups over the past decade, Ferrari have had 4, and when you look at Red Bull, they have had 7 different driver lineups over the past 10 years. Now, the reason for this is because although people have criticized the management of Red Bull's young drivers, the one thing that Red Bull never gets enough respect and credit for is actually giving their young drivers a chance of not only being in Formula 1, but also having the opportunity of actually being in a top team that is capable of challenging for race wins. That is a very big deal, and it is something that goes unmentioned far too often. The truth is that when it comes to young driver development, Red Bull is the gold standard in Formula 1 because the other teams are still way behind in trying to catch up. The only team that at the moment is even close is the Ferrari Driver Academy, and even then they failed this season despite all of their power in Formula 1 to find Callum Ilott, who is a very good driver, a seat on the grid for 2021. Red Bull's ethos and Red Bull's motto ever since they came into the sport in 2005 has been about developing and using their own young drivers and not having to result in drivers from other teams. And that was actually also one of the biggest reasons why they bought a second team to act as their junior team in Toro Rosso, which of course became AlphaTauri. And this is something that people have to respect. If you think that Red Bull seriously don't care about their young drivers, just remember, their owner spent tens of millions of pounds and bought a whole different team just to have a guaranteed space for up-and-coming talent, and that is a serious commitment to young drivers. There's no doubt that with these two teams at their disposal, Red Bull have not exactly been holding back in putting drivers in and out of their cars. When you actually look back at just the last 10 or 11 years at all of the Red Bull juniors that have raced for both Red Bull and AlphaTauri or Toro Rosso, as they were known previously, there is no doubt that Red Bull have had a lot of guys go through those two teams. They've had Sebastian Vettel, Sebastian Buemi, Jaime Alguersuari, Jean-Eric Vergne, Daniel Ricciardo, Daniil Kvyat, Max Verstappen, Carlos Sainz, Pierre Gasly, Brendan Hartley, and Alex Albon. Now, that is a lot of drivers, and the problem with this model is that fundamentally it's a quantity over quality method which has both positives and negatives, and certainly from the fans' perspective, it's like a train. You're either on it or you are not. Now, the negatives are obvious. It means that not everyone is going to get to the top, and that occasionally there will be drivers who will get cut from Formula 1. But the positives, and this is something that I've always tried to focus on and always tried to include into the conversation to give Red Bull the credit that they deserve, is that even if their drivers never even make it to Red Bull or are dropped from F1 entirely, in some cases maybe even not entirely justifiably considering their performances, like Jean-Eric Vergne at the end of 2015 being a prime example, at least Red Bull give them the platform in the first place to either get into Formula 1 or just be noticed in the wider world of motorsport. Without Red Bull, who by the way, and I'm surprised I didn't mention this earlier, pump in millions and millions of pounds into supporting young drivers and giving them funding even down to a karting level, at least even if these drivers do leave, they get the platform to show their talent and maybe get to heights that they would have never been able to by themselves. That's the thing, lots of Formula 1 fans have this perception that the world of motorsport is just the F1 bubble, and if you don't make it into Formula 1 or even if you have to leave to join another series, then you're immediately a failure, and that is just not true. So even when it doesn't work out and a Red Bull young driver is dropped from the sport or even never gets the chance to fully move up to a Formula 1 drive, even to the junior team, it doesn't mean that they're a failure, it doesn't mean that they are a bad driver, and it also doesn't mean that their time with Red Bull Bull as a junior was a complete waste because loads of ex-Red Bull juniors have gone on to have incredible careers outside of Formula 1. As an example, Brendan Hartley went on to become a two-time World Endurance Champion and a two-time winner at the Le Mans 24-hour. Jean-Eric Vergne moved into Formula E and again became a two-time Formula E champion. Sébastien Buemi went on to have a stacked career, winning the FIA World Endurance Championship twice, winning the Le Mans 24-hour 3 times, and on top of that also become a Formula E champion as well. And Jaime Alguersuari, well, he actually went on to become a DJ, so yeah, you just never know where life is going to take you, but whatever makes you feel happy, man. However, despite all of these positives, there is no doubt, and even I'm not going to let Red Bull completely off the hook from this, that at times the management of their young drivers, especially when they get to the top team at Red Bull, and the way their two drivers work together has also come into question and has also come under very heavy scrutiny. At the heart of this issue is both Christian Horner and Helmut Marko, two very interesting and very divisive figures in Formula 1. Now, I'm not going to irrationally bash them and say that they don't know what they're doing, because obviously that would be ridiculous given the success that they have had both with Red Bull, winning 4 consecutive Constructors' World titles, and also the success that they've had developing some of the best Formula 1 drivers over the past 15 years. But there's no denying that as of late, something just has not been right, and in fact, even going back to their glory days of winning titles with Vettel and Webber, there were always a lot of questions from fans over how much preferential treatment was given to Vettel, and of course, even now, over the past couple of years, it seems more and more like it's not Red Bull running the team, but more so Max Verstappen with an endless revolving door of different teammates. So in terms of the criticism that both Horner and Marko have received as of late, in my opinion, it's absolutely justified because something is not working and something about these young drivers coming up into Red Bull is just not clicking. So at the same time, and to wrap up this video, have Red Bull almost been caught up too much in their own success, in the sense that although they do back these young drivers by giving Gasly a chance at Red Bull and then by giving Albon a chance at Red Bull, where has that got them in the last couple of years? Now they've turned to Sergio Perez, and for the first time in over 10 years, they've turned to someone outside of their Red Bull Junior program. Will it be the right choice? Will he save the team? And is he the last piece of the puzzle? Only time will tell, and there is no doubt that regardless of what happens, Red Bull, rightly so, will be under massive pressure and scrutiny by both the fans and the media. So, to answer my original question, are Red Bull over-criticized? Well, the answer is not a simple yes or no, because nothing in life really is. The Red Bull Driver Academy and the revolutionary work that Christian Horner and Helmut Marko have done to bring in so many young drivers up to Formula 1 give a lot of them a chance at the very top of Red Bull for the chance to win races and go up against some of the best drivers in Formula 1 has to be commended and it has to be respected. These men are pioneers of the Young Driver Academy model, but there is no doubt that something is not working in the way Red Bull are managing these drivers, especially over the last few years when they get to the Red Bull team. Is it the team itself? Is it Max Verstappen? Or is it actually Christian Horner or someone else, or a combination of all of them? As a fan, I don't have the definitive answer, but as a team, when you're so consistent, but so consistently not there on par with Mercedes and having driver problems year after year, soon something is going to have to break. And as much as I respect Christian Horner and everything that he's done for Red Bull and Formula 1, we might soon have to have a conversation as to whether or not he is still the right man to lead Red Bull into their next era. Well guys, there you go. That is my video on Red Bull. Now, let me know all of your thoughts in the comments box below. I can't wait to see what you guys think, because I know that Red Bull is such a heavy topic, and you know, at heart as fans, we want to see this team do well. We want to see them challenging for titles and challenging Mercedes, but clearly something is just not right. So let me know your thoughts in the comments box below. And also, as I said earlier in the video, don't forget to check out my brand new series with Veloce Talking Points that I am very proud to be a part of, where we talked about Aston Martin and Sébastien Vettel in 2021. So yeah, head over there, subscribe to Veloce and support that series as well. I would be massively thankful, and I hope you did enjoy this video. And if you did, then don't forget to drop a like, smash that subscribe button, and don't forget to check out my social medias. Instagram and Twitter will be above. And guys, I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.